Hello and welcome to another Road to Rank 1 Murders at Karlov Manor draft. I am Paul Cheon, and on our quest to Rank 1, we are currently Platinum 3. We got to Platinum 3 between the last video and a stream that I did. So we're slowly rising up the ranks. We're going to start playing against stiffer competition, but I'm ready. I've done a fair amount of drafts at this point, maybe 6 or 7. So I'm basically an expert, right? Taking a look at this pack, we have Drag the Canal, which is a really sweet rare. Make a 2/2 white and blue detective token. If a creature dies, you gain 2, surveil 2, and investigate. Another card is Undercity Eliminator. This card has really impressed me. 5 mana, ETB, sack an artifact or a creature. When you do, exile target creature and opponent control. So this works really well with investigate cards. I think I want to try the Undercity Eliminator over the Drag the Canal because it's a single colored card, and I feel like it's going to be a good card in any deck. There's also Galvanize as an option. I just want to figure out, by playing with this card, how big of a cost it is to sack an artifact, because I do know that it's pretty easy to make clues. So I feel like that's something that I want to be doing with this card. So I just want to see if this is as good as it looks to me. Moving on to this pack, we have Assassin's Trophy, which is an okay removal spell. Not the best, because it does give them a land, so it's not something you want to use early. There's Leering Onlooker. I'm a pretty big fan of this card. It's a 2 mana 1/3 flyer. Will note that in this format, I feel like there's just not enough good 2 mana creatures. This is one of the best ones because it gives you value in the late game. Also nice, when you make the tokens, you can sack one of them to the Eliminator. Detective Satchel is also a card that I had a lot of fun with, drafting various Izzet control decks. And I think Out Cold is an honorable mention if you want it to be a more aggressive tempo-oriented deck. But I'm pretty happy taking the Leering Onlooker here to start my draft with 2 black cards. This is also a fine card to sacrifice to the Undercity Eliminator and see what else is available after first picking 2 black cards. Moving on to this pack, we have Novice Inspector, which is a premium common. Well, Detectives is really strong, and this is a 1 mana detective. That's part of why this card's really good, but it's never really bad in any deck. The other options at common, there really aren't any. It's really Novice Inspector and a bunch of filler cards. There's some mana fixing, but I'm looking at Soul Enervation as just a really good removal spell. And then there's Blood Spatter Analysis. Now, if you're a Rakdos, this is really great because it gives you value in the late game, because every time you kill something, you keep adding counters on this and then you return something to your hand. But there's also Soul Innervation, and Soul Innervation allows me to stay open. So I think I'm going to take the Soul Innervation. It's a 4 mana removal spell. It allows me to stay open. I think it's similar to Blood Spatter Analysis, but this gives me the opportunity to perhaps go black-green or black-white or any other combination, starting out with the 3 black, knowing that this 100% will make my deck and will be a good card in my deck and give us a little bit of extra wiggle room in terms of what we want to do with our second color. Moving on to this pack, we have Case of the Trampled Garden, which is good in an aggressively slanted deck. Unclear if that's what we're going to be. Evidence Examiner is kind of a cool uncommon, but we're pretty far away from casting that. There's a couple of white cards which are not that impressive. We did see that Novice Detective, so maybe white can be open. I am a fan of Nervous Gardener, and there's also Toxin Analysis, which is an okay trick, but I'm never fourth picking that card. I want to take the Nervous Gardener here, and this gives me a lot of flexibility in how my draft will go. It's something you can play turn 2, right? So this actually is a pretty decent turn 2, because turn 2 you have something to play, and then later on in the game, you can use this to help fetch another color. So I do like the Nervous Gardener, and maybe we can draft a black-green deck. Now there's a Sample Collector, and I'm really interested in that card. This is a pretty late Dogwalker. Dogwalker is phenomenal. It's a really good card. Red-white aggressive. The red-white aggressive deck is one of the best strategies in this version. I was going to say of Cube, but of Limited. But I don't think I want to be taking that. High Alert is a really cool card, fun card, and not on my watch is a pretty decent removal spell. But Sample Collector is pretty good. The black-green deck is looking to collect evidence anyways, so I want to try the Sample Collector to go with the Nervous Gardener and see where this goes. Looking like a nice little black-green mid-range deck. Hopefully I can create enough permanence onto the battlefield to make the Undercity Eliminator good. Moving on here, that's a pretty late Person of Interest. That's a pretty good card. If I wanted to go maybe black-red, that's something that I could play. But there's Hustle Bustle. I would only be playing it for the bustle, so maybe that's not something that I want. But I might just try this Case of the Trampled Garden now, Putting 2 counters on Leering Onlooker seems okay. And we're not the most controlling black-green deck, so I feel like this card can have a home in this deck if we draft this deck a little more aggressively slanted. Now we have a pack with hard-hitting question. This is just a really, really great removal spell. I mean, it's not a bite. It's a 1-mana sorcery. It's a 1-mana Rabid Bite. So Rabid Bite got upgraded. Very, very happy to have this. Not interested in the Aftermath Analyst that much. It does mill you. There's a Gadget Technician, which is pretty decent, but hard-hitting question this late does tell me that green is pretty open, and I'm really happy about that. Really happy about getting that hard-hitting question pretty late. And now we have a pack with Rubble Built Maverick. I don't think this card is good. It does help you put things into your graveyard. Not interested in the Cerebral Confiscation. Case of the Gorgon's Kiss. Does that do anything for us? I don't think Illicit Masquerade is that good. Yeah, I think it just takes a lot of work. Maybe I'll take Case of the Gorgon's Kiss. Maybe this is the type of deck, if I have enough self-mill, where I can actually turn it on. We'll see. This pack doesn't have too many things that I want, so I'm going to take an Escape Tunnel. And now by starting off the draft with Escape Tunnel and Nervous Gardener, that gives us a lot of flexibility in trying to maybe splash for splash a third color if possible. Wow, Granite Witness tabled. This is just a really solid detective to play. I'm really surprised that card tabled, but it's pretty early still. Vitu-Ghazi Inspector is definitely a card I'm looking to play. Hopefully we can find some ways to fill up our graveyard and collect evidence to move some of those counters around. Here, I don't think I'm going to be playing 2 copies of Vitu-Ghazi Inspector, so I'm going to take Public Thoroughfare as just another way to fix my mana for potentially awesome cards to splash. All right, Evidence Examiner is pretty late, but still probably not going to play this card. I don't think it's good enough to splash. But I think this started out pretty decent. Case of the Gorgon's Kiss, I think, is speculative. But I'm pretty happy with everything else. Vitu-Ghazi Inspector and Case of the Trampled Garden may or may not make our deck, but everything else looks pretty good. I do know that if I want to collect evidence, I do want to find ways to feed my graveyard if possible. Let's take a look at this pack. 10th District Hero is a phenomenal creature. 2 good 2-drops are hard to come by in this format. It's a 2-mana 2/3. It beats all morphs in a fight, and it continues to grow. This card's excellent, but we're not white. There's Chalk Outline, and I'm looking at that. There's a Rakish Scoundrel that's on color, but it's replaceable. It's a 4-mana 3/3 Death Touch. It's not that great. But Chalk Outline says, whenever 1 or more creature cards leave your graveyard, create a 2/2 white and blue detective creature token. Not only that, you also investigate. So I think this is a really, really interesting build-around card where now I really want to focus on being able to collect evidence and feeding my graveyard so that I can collect evidence. So let's see what the rest of the draft provides for us. Officious Interrogation. Okay, this is a multiplayer card. Case of the Pilfered Proof is one of the best uncommons in the set. If you're blue-white detectives, this is the card that you want. Wisp Drinker Vampire is something that I can splash. Lightning Helix, we certainly can't splash. Wow, this pack is horrible for us. There's a Snarling Gorehound, but that's not something that my green-black deck really wants, I don't think. So I'm just going to take the Wisp Drinker Vampire, as my mana fixing is pretty good, and maybe it's something that I potentially splash out of this deck. Ooh, and this pack, this one's pretty easy, folks. This one's pretty easy. Axebane Ferox, 4 mana, 4/4, Death Touch Haste. I'm in. I mean, it's no Questing Beast, but it's pretty close. It's an awesome, awesome beater. Very, very happy to have this in my deck. We are passing Hard-Hitting Question. We already have 1 copy of that. That's a very, very good card. And the other good card in this pack I want to talk about is Case of the Burning Masks. This is an excellent uncommon. 3 mana uncommon, deal 3 damage to a creature. And then if you can solve this, which is really easy, just 3 sources have to deal damage in 1 turn, you basically get to pick the best card out of the top 3. And so essentially what this card does is it kills a creature and draws you a card for 3 mana. Pretty good, pretty good. All right, so Axebane Ferox, excellent addition to our deck. And now another hard-hitting question. Going to be really happy taking that. We'll note that this also goes really well with Death Touch creatures. So if we do randomly pick up a late Rakish Scoundrel, it works really well because the creature deals damage. And if you have a Death Touch creature, boom, anything dies. Tin Street Gossip is a good card, but I don't think I want to splash for that. very happy with second hard-hitting question. So now this gives us 2 hard-hitting questions, a Soul Innervation, and an Undercity Eliminator as ways to kill creatures. Looking pretty good so far. It doesn't add up. Return target creature from your graveyard to the battlefield suspected. I don't necessarily want my creature to get suspected. I don't think this is a card that I really want in my deck. So I think I'm just going to probably take a random morph. The question is, do I want Vengeful Creeper or Basilica Stalker? I think I want the Stalker. It's cheaper to unmorph. And it allows me to Surveil 1, which then allows me to potentially fill my graveyard so that I can play my... so that I can maybe try to collect some evidence on top of that. Here, as far as on-color card codes, oh, that's Alquist Proft. I wonder if you're good. Oh yeah, this is the Sphinx's Revelation Detective. Awesome, awesome creature, but I can't double splash. I'm greedy. I'm not that greedy. I'm gonna take a Fester Leech here. This allows me to mill my deck. It's a 1-drop, but it's 2 mana to give it +2/+2. I think this is just a reasonable playable card in any black deck, really. So I think I'll play that. Case of the Burning Mist this late. Wow. Insidious Roots. What does this do? Whenever 1 or more creature cards leave your graveyard, create a 0/1 plant token, then put a +1/+1 counter on each plant you control. Creature tokens you control have... Okay, I gotta try this card. I have to. All right, I need more evidence cards. I got Insidious Roots in my deck. I need more evidence cards. This also seems to go with evidence decks. It gets +1/+0 and lifelink. There's also They Went This Way, but I don't think I want that card in my deck. I already have 2 ways to fix, and no, I have 3 ways to fix already. I kind of want to try to draft the quote-unquote evidence deck and see what happens. Gonna take a Starling Gorehound there out of a pretty underwhelming pack, and I'll take this other V2 Ghazi Inspector because it does collect evidence. Collect evidence 6 though is a pretty large cost, and now I'll take Toxin Analysis. I'm not sure how good this card is, but it does go well with cards like the V2 Ghazi Inspector, as it does work well with creatures that have large toughness and low power. So if you have like a 1/5, giving it Death Touch is nice, and then you get to investigate. So it's something that can possibly make our deck, but I'm still looking for... Look, we have the Soul Innervation too. I want to collect evidence, and I want to put things into my graveyard. That's all I know. All right. Consigned to Oblivion. All right, nice little callback there. Haven't seen that card yet. There's another 10th District Heroes. We would own the entire 10th District with the 2 copies of this card, but it's okay. We're going to take another Soul Innervation. This card is going to be great. Can you imagine having these 2 in play and just start collecting evidence? So I'm really happy about that. We do have lots of 4-drops. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So collect evidence. We want to collect evidence, and we want to put creature cards in our graveyard. Well, guess what? This puts a 6-mana creature into our graveyard, helps mana fix, it's a good card in the late game, and there's nothing else that we want in our deck. I think Topiary Panther is one of the perfect cards for this type of strategy. We'll see how it goes, though. So I have... The only problem is, how many ways do we have to collect evidence? We have the 2 Inspectors, and we have the Sample Collector. I think that's it for now. So hopefully we can pick up maybe a few more ways, but... Happy enough taking the Panther out of this pack. Analyze the Pollen. What do you do? Is this a fog? No. Search your library for a basic land card. If evidence was collected, instead, search your library for a creature or land card. Collect evidence. Well, I want to collect evidence. I want to collect evidence. Does this collect evidence? No. Presumed Dead is just a combat trick. Clandestine Meddler is better in Rakdos. It's a very aggressively slanted card. I do like the Loxodon Eavesdropper. But look, I'm going to take Analyze the Pollen. This thing seems really awesome. To be able to collect evidence 8 and go fetch an Undercity Eliminator. Oh, you can get a creature or a land card. I see. I thought you get both. Even so, look, I just need to play 1 less land and play this card in my deck. And then in the late game, it triggers all my other exile effects and also gets me in Axebane Ferox. That's awesome. By the way, this is probably one of just the best creatures in this set. This card is incredible. Incredible Sharp-Eyed Rookie. 2 mana, 2/2 Vigilance. Anytime you play a bigger creature, power or toughness, this gets bigger and you investigate. I think Doomwake posted something on Twitter the other day where he's like, after playing with this card, I know what this creature reminds me of. And then he posted a split thing of Tarmogoyf plus Tireless Tracker. So this card is awesome. Let's take a look at this pack here. Get a leg up. Until end of turn, target creature you control gets +1/+1 for each creature you control and gains reach. That's okay. Combine Chrysalis. Creature tokens you control have flying. 4 mana, sack a token. Make a 4/4 beast creature token. That seems interesting. I think I want to splash that. Also, I didn't have time, so I just did it. But let's see. Creature tokens you control. But you can sack clues. And this works with my Insidious Roots as well. All right, I'm gonna look. We're gonna look. I don't even have words. I'm gonna try this, and we'll see how it goes. This is a collect evidence card, but it's blue. I think I'm just gonna take this morph here to go into my deck. I want to collect more evidence. Oh my gosh, is this going too deep? I think it's going too deep, but I'm gonna take it. You can't stop me. And I want to collect evidence. I need more evidence collection. None of these cards help me collect evidence, sadly. I don't think the Laundry Golem does me any good. Can double Slime Against Humanity? All right, my only thing is I really hope I have enough ways to collect evidence. So this one, ETBs, it mills me for 3. Is that better than the 1-drop, the Surveils 2? The 1-drop mills 2 and gives me some added value. Yeah, I'm not sure about that one. And then I wonder, this collects evidence too. Should I splash this? Okay. I didn't even realize, I just totally forgot I had that in my deck. All right, this one, look, format is still young, right? We're just trying to see what we can do with all the build-arounds in this set. All right, that's what we're trying to do. We're sciencing it up a little bit here, but I think it's totally fair right now, this early in the set, where you science it up and you learn things. All right, so I think we want 8 forests because we're playing the Analyze the Pollen, so you do want the green. The green helps fix everything else. And then we can play 16 lands because we're playing Topiary Panther and Analyze the Pollen as ways to get mana. And I think this is everything that I want in my deck. All right, this is the deck. We've separated it out by creature. Pompous Gadabout. It's 4/2 as hexproof. Can't be blocked by morphs. Yeah, that's not what this deck is trying to do. And I don't think we're trying to trample over gardens either. I think this is more of a value-centric deck that tries to win in the late game. We're going to try to build this deck accordingly. Leering Onlooker is fantastic. Do I want to play Aftermath Analyst? This is probably still bad, right? I think another way to just be able to collect evidence is to just naturally do so by, for example, playing just these morphs and then trading them, right? And then all of a sudden you have a 6-drop in your graveyard. So we have 2 of these, 1 of these. Actually, we don't have as many morphs as I would have anticipated. So how many ways do we have to collect evidence? Double Inspector, Evidence Examiner, we have the Sample Collector, and then we have Analyze the Pollen. So we have 5 ways to collect evidence. I don't know if that's low or if that's high, but I think that's all the evidence cards that we have. We just need to cut 2 cards. Okay, so I think the card I cut was Toxin Analysis, and I think I'm going to cut one of the Mortipedes because we have a lot of 4-drops. So this is, I think, the configuration that we're going to go with. So this looks a lot of fun, interesting. I have a feeling I may not have perfectly built around these 2 cards just yet, but I'll play with it, see what happens, figure out what I'm missing, and then we'll learn for the future. First game with Sultai Evidence Collection deck. We have the combo here. Inspector plus Panther. Build your own 2/4. Yeah, we're doing it. Now I just need one of the payoffs. One of the payoffs here for collecting evidence. That's what we need. We have the Soul Innervation. This is like a light payoff. Draining for 1 isn't the most powerful thing. I'm talking about Chalk Outline. That's the one that I really had in mind. Play this. Public Thoroughfare. And then we don't even have a turn 3 play, really. Reckless Detective. That's a solid creature. 2 mana, 2/3 on offense. Creature tokens you control have flying. Okay. And I guess since I don't have much to do this turn, let's just play the Chrysalis. I don't need to land cycle until next turn. We do have Soul Innervation as a way to kill Reckless Detective, if we want. We can also just run out the Rotfar Mortipede. And then this thing actually gets in and hits them for 4. That's a nice swing. If I go Rotfar Mortipede and then the turn after, land cycle the Panther, play the Inspector, boom. Okay, demand answers. So they're playing some kind of blue-red spells deck. But the detective is, not a huge issue here for now. Let's go ahead and play the Mortipede. And if anything, honestly, now that we have 5 lands, we probably don't even want to land cycle. We probably just want to play out the Panther. All right, sack a token. Okay, I just got to be mindful. I'm still learning what all my permanents do. It's like, what makes a token? If something makes a token, I want to sacrifice it so I can make a 4/4 flyer. Oh, the satchel. I'm a fan of the satchel. Ooh, wait a second. Wait a second. The wheels are turning. The wheels are turning here, folks. Whenever one or more creature cards leave your graveyard. Okay. Consider the wheels turned. All right. Let's attack. I don't have the mana to do everything this turn. So I think I want to just keep up Soul Innervation this turn, and next turn I can go land cycle. Or is it better to just go Insidious Roots, land cycle, next turn play the Inspector, play a land, and then make a 4/4? Yeah, no, that's better. That's better. Okay. All right. So we we drew our uncommons, folks. All right, Combine Chrysalis, Insidious Roots. We're turning our plants into beasts. I suppose if you have lots of plants, then you want to just keep making lots of plants, but making a 4/4 beast flying beast every turn is probably not bad, right? Okay, so they get a 1/1 flyer here off the satchel. Reckless Detective works pretty well. Proft's Eidetic Memory. ETB draws a card. At the beginning of combat on your turn, if you've drawn more than one card, put X+1/+1 counters on target creature you control, where X is the number of cards you've drawn this turn -1. Oh, and it just draws you a card? That's a nice enchantment. Okay. All right. Both of our decks are built around unique uncommons and rare enchantment/artifacts. Okay. So I think I'm going to get an island with this. Okay. Our mana should... Wait just a second. Did I just make 2 plants? Did I just make 2 plants here? Is that a thing that just happened? Hold on. I gotta play. Look. I mean, I can make a beast, but I can make 2 plants. I gotta make 2 plants. Okay. Let's collect evidence 6. Exile this. Oh, yes. Look at all these triggers. Boom, boom, boom. And then let's go ahead and put a counter on... Is it just a Mortipede? 2, 3, 1, 2. I could also put it... Oh, these fly. Right. These are just flyer. I don't even need to cash them in. Necessarily. I mean, I guess I could cash the 1/2 in. Could make a 2/4 reach. Doesn't seem bad either. I think I'm kind of interested in spreading around the power here. So let's put it on the inspector. It's a 2/4 reach. It's a great blocker. Now this taps for mana too. Okay. I could have gotten in for an extra point of damage, but I kind of like the idea of spreading around my counters if I can. Wow, they got some rares. Artifact abilities you control cost 1 less to activate. So clues cost 1 less to activate. Oh, wow. Okay. Oh, they can draw a lot of cards this turn. Oh, no, they waited till combat, so they didn't get the trigger here. I feel like you wanted to get the trigger here. Interesting. And they're attacking? Okay. Well, I kind of want a double block here. Maybe triple block? No, we'll go with the double block here. I mean, if they have Galvanize, I guess I want a triple block. I'm trying to think of all the other combat tricks. I don't know all the combat tricks. There's +3/+0 and Investigate, but they can't play that here. But the double block, I don't lose anything. All right, let's just double block. If they galvanize my 2/3, then they just... Okay. All right, so they got to investigate here. That's okay. That's okay. We've got a lot of action here. We've got a lot of action here. I definitely want to turn this one into... I definitely want to turn this plant into a 4/4 beast. Definitely. I want to... Do I want to kill this Gadgeteer? It does allow me to get in for a lot more damage. They're at 13. So what if I do that? And then I kill this. Whenever you cast an artifact spell, investigate. Artifact, okay. I'm also just afraid of that card. I don't know why. It's just a rare. All right. I want to put pressure, maximum pressure. Why does it say ×2? Does it tap for 2 mana? I don't think so. All right. There we go. Upgrade. 4/4 flying beast that taps for 1 mana of any color. This is a nice board here. This is a nice board here. What is this? Discard a card and then draw 2 cards. Wow. I will say Prof's Eidetic Memory is really nice in their deck. So I wonder if I need to play more self-mill cards here. I do have that 2 mana 1/3 that mills for 3. It just felt so low impact, but maybe I just need to play it just to have food in my graveyard. But I also need a collect evidence card. So it's not like I'm holding a collect evidence card in my hand. Okay, how many cards did they draw? That's a 5/5 flyer? Wow. Okay. So the 5/5 can eat this. Jeez. Yeah, that is just a bananas enchantment. If you think about it, just what you get out of a 2-man enchantment, that seems way stronger than what you would normally see. Is this activated as a sorcery only? Okay, dang. So we attack here, and this gets eaten, and then they chump the other 2, but then they can keep making a clue every turn. I guess we'll just sacrifice this and upgrade it. Then we'll pass. All right, we need to find a way to deal with this 5/5 flyer. Perhaps I was a little bit too hasty on this soul innervation. And they still have 4 cards in hand. How do you solve this? If you have no cards in hand. Wow, that's a good card. Don't think it's too hard to pull off, right? And then just at the late game, in the late game, it draws you 2 cards a turn. Okay. But my thing is, how am I dealing with this engine that they have going here? The satchel in the late game is kind of problematic. We need to get something going here with Insidious Roots and Soul Innervation somehow. Do we have a removal spell, maybe? They can put another counter on something. Maybe the Furtive Courier, they can start finding a way to push through damage. Okay, so that's a hard-hitting questions. But I still can't kill the spy. That's the problem. I still can't kill this 4/4 flyer. So, because of that, because I don't want to attack and lose a creature and then have to use the hard-hitting questions, right? So, I think it's probably best that I kill this Furtive Courier and just keep going. Sack a token. I don't have any clues. All right. We have all these enchantments in play, but we're kind of lacking ways to take advantage of them. So if the games go long, maybe. The nice thing about Teferi Snoop, at least for us, I mean, it's not nice that they have one in play, is that it doesn't draw them a card. It puts a card into their hand. So it doesn't trigger the eidetic memory. But blue, oh my gosh. Okay. I don't think we're going to beat the double satchel here, folks. Wait, why didn't they sack a clue? They're still learning how this stuff works too, probably. If you sack a clue right away, you get a +1/+1 counter on something. I guess they have a counter spell of some kind? That's the only thing that makes sense to me. Play this disguised. And we still cannot do anything. They have a bunch of Thopters. Yeah, this is going to be quite a grind here. Double satchel. Whew. Look at all these Thopters. The only thing keeping us in this is the Chrysalis. We need to find a way. I mean, maybe I should have held the hard-hitting questions. If I did, I would have been able to kill the spy and then start attacking with my flying beasts. They can sack a Thopter. And then they get them. Oh, their deck is awesome. Their deck is really sweet. Is the satchel just a bomb? Like, I've been happy with it. But I do know that it's slow. I know we could have taken 1 second pick. I'm just jealous here. That's all this is. This is very similar to that blue-red control deck that we drafted a couple days ago. Except it has better cards in it. It has more rares. Okay, Curious Inquiry. How many cards did they draw this turn? Oh my gosh. This is disgusting. It's a 9/9? Surveil 2? Okay. All right, well, triple block, I guess. Oh my. Beast tokens down. Let's spend the mana here, face it up. And chalk. We need more ways to exile things out of our graveyard. We just have all the payoffs. We have all the payoffs. I'm just attacking with this just to make sure. I'm trying to get this to die so that I have something to exile. Because I don't have anything to collect evidence from here. Ooh, another furtive courier. Are you out of clues yet? Goodness. Are you out of clues? That's the last one? I guess you have this one too? This also sacrifices? Yeah, this. They're doing good work. They're doing good work. Do you want to sack this too to make your creature bigger? Oh no, they're just going to equip. Sure. How many cards left? They have 5 cards left in their deck. I didn't even stop to consider that part. I did not consider that part. 5, 6. So double block does not kill it. Okay. We can just block the Snoop here with the Inspector. So they're getting aggressive. No, I like this because they're down to 5 cards left. So what I should... yeah, maybe I should be keeping this Crocodile back. They drew another card. Wow, they are going... Okay. Oh, we are at 11. And they have a grip full of cards. This, whatever this needs to be, it needs to be awesome. And I don't think it's going to be enough. Yeah, this just gets us a land. Yeah, this just gets eaten by... All right, let's just play with... I mean, at this point, I guess we're just trying to survive. Would you like to draw any more cards? Oh, this is a forced draw, by the way. When this attacks, it's a forced draw. Is this also forced? No, it's you may sack an artifact. So if they don't, then they don't draw a card. And we can use this to go get a land. I mean, we're super close to dead. We need to find some way to gain life here, maybe. Okay. So they will have one more turn to attack us. Unless they sack an artifact with the Criminologists. We'll see. Wait, they milled a card! They milled a card! Oh, are we dead here? Maybe we're just dead here. That could be a thing. Doesn't seem like we're dead. They decked themselves. Oh, our opponent went too deep, doing all the sweet things, and they decked themselves. I respect that. Oh, that's what happens when you just go a little too deep. Okay, I'm just gonna say this now. Perhaps 2 was too many. Do I play this now? Probably. Yeah, I don't see myself collect evidencing 8 anytime soon. So let's go ahead and fetch the island. We just have all of them. We just have all of them. I probably just need to literally take anything that says collect evidence, and maybe I just didn't do that. Oh, I should have played the swamp, because if I draw the Evolving Wilds, I can go Insidious Roots, Evolving Wilds. The reason why I didn't is to show my opponent less information. Oh, that is nice. That was a good draw. This becomes a 3/3? All right. Well, we have a couple of premium 2s. We have 3 cards that do absolutely nothing. Okay. But hey, look, we're okay. Oh, they're trying to do something similar. Maybe I can learn something here. Aftermath Analyst. Maybe I need to play that card. All right, so we have hard-hitting questions, which allows us to kill a morph. I kind of want to crack this clue, though. Yeah. I want to make sure I don't miss my land drops. Okay. Well, that has reach, right? Okay, so we don't have a good attack now. Okay. Now, Insidious Roots is good with Leering Onlooker. So that's nice. We just can't block the morph here. Oh, Teysa! All right, well, we certainly have to kill that. They get a flyer. Sure. But man, our mana situation is so awkward. Yeah, we can't attack. Spending 1 mana and not doing anything with the other 2 mana just feels so bad in this spot. But I think we just kind of have to deal with the Teysa right now, and I don't even have a good play. For example, if I drew a land, well, no, drawing a land would have been awesome, because then I could have gone hard-hitting questions plus morph or face-down card. So land number 4 would be phenomenal. Now they have all these face-down cards. And the thing is, if you fall behind in this format and your opponent's the one who gets to untap with a bunch of mana in play with their face-down cards, I mean, it's so tough. I'll keep this for now. All right, so that's the land. But now they have this solved, and this adds a counter every turn to something. Oof, okay. I think we're on Soul Innervation this turn. This is definitely a card I could also be playing. Wow. That's also a card I could be playing. We are getting beat down here, folks. Okay. What you got for me? I can't collect evidence. I wonder what... I hope they put a counter on the flyer. Oh, are they gonna put a counter on this? I think I still just have to block the morph with the rookie. Well, the thing is, the rookie can become a 4/4 next turn if I play the Mortipede. So maybe not. This doesn't have trample, right? Whenever one or more creatures leave your graveyard. This is just good with all of these cards. All right, let's block here. I could double block the Ferox. That's also an option. Just not have to deal with it ever. Kill the flyer. I want this to die anyways, and now we just have this. Now we have this board to deal with. That's it. That is all. Now the thing is just what is the play here? If I play the Gardener, that's just not impactful enough. So it's probably the Mortipede. It's either the Mortipede or playing another Soul Enervation. But now they have so much mana. These are going to unmorph, and this is one of the things where if you can't keep pace with what your opponents are doing, then you're just going to get run over by these late game unmorphs. And our hand is just so full of just these build around D type cards. But a lot of it just stems from us not being able to hit kind of our land drops. So I think this is okay. Well, it's not okay. We're dead. We're dead, if you are wondering. But yep. Wow, this time our opponents can't even deck themselves? That's not cool. Yeah, we're dead. This time we're just dead. All right, 1-1. Let's take a look at our deck to see if we can make a couple of adjustments here. Just to kind of maybe try to survive to the late game. Maybe I don't want 2 copies of Insidious Roots. No, but the thing I like about Insidious Roots is that it actually makes something when I exile cards, whereas this doesn't. So, yeah, let's cut the Chrysalis, sadly, and put the Mortipede back in. It could also be Toxin Analysis, but I'll try the Mortipede one more time, and let's see how it goes. This is a mulligan, sadly. I like that hand. This is a fantastic hand. I will bottom the Basilica Stalker. I think I value the removal spell more. And then we have turn 1 Fester Leech, and then the Ferox is also obviously awesome. Now I'm going to play the Insidious Roots here. Milled a couple lands. I guess that 2-mana 1/3 that returns all lands from the graveyard to the battlefield, if you have a lot of ways to mill, it can be a way to put a bunch of lands into play. I'm not even sure how good that is, though. Okay, we milled a 6-drop. That's good. Yeah, okay. So we got at least a 6 in the graveyard. So we are ready to start collecting some evidence, potentially. I do love me the Tunnel Tipster. It's one of the best 2-mana common creatures in the set. It's this one, and there's a 1 white 2/2 detective that gets flying. I think those are among the 2 best. But I've had this be a 4/4 or 5/5 in some games. Well, not drawing a land is not ideal. I'll kill the Tipster. I don't have anything to do here, so let's just pump this. Okay, got rid of an unnecessary second copy of Insidious Roots. Our opponent's probably like, what are you cooking up over there? And I'm like, oh, not much. Not much for now. The Vitu-Ghazi card would be super nice here. They have mana up now, so it makes it a lot worse to just attack. Other than with the Axebane Ferox, of course. This is at least going to eat 2 creatures, so happy enough just getting in with this one. Okay. Sure. They must... Oh, is this a 3-2? I see. Yeah. Okay. So now they have a detective. Just adding more stuff so that we can collect evidence when we need to. Too bad face-down creatures aren't tokens. Archdruid... Yeah, come on. I was just trying to have some fun. What does this do? Search the library for a creature or land card, reveal it, put it into battlefield tapped if it's a land card. Otherwise, then she'll put a +1/+1 counter target creature in control. It deals damage equal to its power. Oh, so they could have killed the thing, but they did not want me to... And then, of course, we drew the Vitu-Ghazi Inspector. That's not cool. Huh. I think I kind of just want to make a big Fester Leech with this. I can also play Soul Innervation to kill the Tipster, but I can kill this next turn too. They can't... It won't be bigger than a 4/4. Yeah, let's go ahead and do that. And then if they want to double block here, they can. If not, then... Okay. I'll take a free 2/2 any day of the week. Oh, no, that's not... No. My worst enemy, the Griffnot Tracker. How dare you? There's the chalk outline. Okay. They can attack with the flyer, that's fine. I'm just going to go ahead and play this and just kill the mole now. If they want to attack with the flyer, that just allows me to attack them, so... No attacks this turn. And then we have chalk outline if we can collect evidence, although we only have a 2-drop here. Loxodon Eavesdropper, solid card. No blocks. That's an escape tunnel, okay. So how do we want to go about this? I can attack with this morph. Not really sure what they can do. Right? They have 2 mana up? Okay. They're just really letting me eat all their creatures. What is this, the 3/2 again? Alright. I'm okay with this. And we're at 19 here, and we now have the Crocodile ready to attack with Soul Innervation available, so it's going to be really, really hard to set up decent blocks on the other side. They can get an attack here. This does give us Vigilance, but we're at 19. So we'll just take the 7 here. And then we can start getting in, so... Ooh, stop. No, don't hover over this one. Oh, Sumala Sentry. That's an excellent creature. I do want to draft a deck around that too. Wow. Okay, so they really put a lot of pressure on the battlefield here for us. I am just going to attack with the Crocodile. Okay. Now this is interesting. Do I kill the Sentry, which is guaranteed +2/+2 counters? Or do I want to kill this morph? If I kill the morph, the sentry doesn't do anything. For now. And they have no cards in hand. So I think that's what I'm going to do. Because this is definitely a bigger potential threat with all the mana that they have. So let's see what we got. We got a Vengeful Creeper. Yeah. Kill the 5/5. Oh, they're attacking with the Eavesdropper. All right, well, with our life total, I think I just double block. I don't want to get too low with the Griffknot Tracker in play, and the Undercover Crocodile does some good work here. You may sack an artifact or a creature when you do exile. Okay, so let's go ahead and attack with the Crocodile. Wow, they really don't. Okay. Well, I think I'm going to kill this tracker. I don't really need this inspector. So let's go ahead and cast the Eliminator. Sack this. And kill the tracker. Okay. Definitely a good board state here for us now. Unless they play something that's bigger than my 5/5. They played it as a morph. Okay. I don't think anything's going to be bigger than what I have here with 4 mana. So let's do that. Okay, it's just the land. Sure. Let's play the Mortipede. See, yeah, okay. So this is looking okay here for us now. All right, GG, we got one. We got one, yes. Did our payoff cards do anything? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. I think one of the most important creatures for the collecting evidence, by the way, is the Sample Collector, because this is a consistent way to turn on your evidence. So I think Sample Collector seems to be a really, really high pick. The other creature is the one that we're splashing for, the blue-green one, the 2/2, that collects evidence 4. That's also really, really good, right? Because it just gives you a consistent way to collect evidence. So those are the ones you need to collect highly. Okay, we have turn 2 Aftermath Analyst, mill some cards. We got the Crocodile. Why couldn't they just put Satyr Wayfinder in here? That'd be so much better. Attack for 2. Let's play a Morph. It's going to get countered. That's okay. Look, when it gets countered... Oh, it's my creature has menace now? Okay. Well, now I have plenty of food for collecting. Okay, we know that one. All right, so we'll play the Roots. We get to do the thing, folks! We get to do the thing! Yes! Yeah, we'll make a 2/4 menace creature. Let's get in. We have 1 land in the graveyard to get back. Now the question is, was this even good? Does this exile? Okay. I guess we're gonna sack... No. I think I value the mana creature more, so I'll just sack the Inspector. Exile is nice because they don't get the clue. And then what does this do? Do we care about this one? I think I'm going to take a wait and see approach with the hard-hitting questions here. I have the ability to kill any 3/3 here, so... For example, I might want to just kill a morph. Rot Farm Mortipede. I guess it is better for me to kill the Forensic Gadgeteer, because this allows me to play the Mortipede this turn on top of that. This could be the 3/2. They kept up 2 white. Oh, it could also just be the Vigilance creature. Anyways, it's whatever it is, it's not going to be that bad. The 3/2 would be worse. Oh, Dogwalker is the worst. Okay. All right, we need a Collect Evidence card. That's what we need. They can definitely make a 1/1 here. Oh, look at that doggy. All right. They get a Thopter, and I guess we're kind of even. They're up cards, though. And we don't have a great attack. We could trade the Mortipede for a Surveillance Monitor. That doesn't seem great. So let's just wait. I think we have a lot of the pieces to make this type of deck work, but I think... Oh, not this card again. But I think we could have... I think there's probably... I want to look back at this draft to see what other cards I could have taken to make this a more streamlined Collect Evidence deck, or if Collect Evidence just takes a little too many pieces to actually get to work. This card is so good. The turn you play it, it's draw a card, put a +1/+1 counter on something. Wait just a second. 6, 7, 8. We can get a creature here? And we okay, all right. Let's exile the 6-drop and the 2-drop. Okay. Okay. Oh, that gets big too. Okay. We get a plant. And then we're gonna get... Ooh, this is an interesting one too. I don't... Hold on. This is really... So I don't have blue mana. So I don't really want to get the Evidence Examiner. There's Sharp-Eyed Rookie. That's not that great here either. There's Leering Onlooker. That's okay. I think it's a question of whether or not I want to take the Axebane Ferox or the Sample Collector. I'm going to take the Sample Collector. And then let's just attack with the Mortipede. Oh, that's really good. Man, they are really getting us. Oh no! I just realized! Oh no! I got the wrong one! My tokens, of course, tap for any color! What did I do? What have I done? I had my chance at making all the plants. Oh no! Oh, wasted opportunity. Of course. Of course. I could have been making a clue every turn instead of having this attack and die. Oh my, what have I done? Oh, that's brutal. Oh, jeez. Ugh, okay. I'm very sad right now. like, I am so sad. Ugh. Ugh. Oh, that was so bad. Okay. Oh, I need to exile a creature. Okay. Look, we're learning new things every time we're doing this. I thought it was whenever any non-creature spell or non-land card gets exiled, it's creature. Okay. How many mistakes can I make in one game? It's truly impressive. This Fairy Snoop is gymongous. How many lands do we have in here? Just the swamp? Okay. All right. So we should have had. Oh God. And they didn't even block too. That's. Oh. Okay. Oh, and they get to tap this down? No. No. All right. I don't even know if we would have been able to beat a 4/7 Fairy Snoop with Prof's Eidetic Memory. This feels like it's just a bomb to me, by the way. So you get a lot of mileage out of a 2-mana card. Yeah, it's a 2-mana. It's put 3 counters on something. Yeah. Can't block them. I guess if I had the blue enchantment, the blue-green artifact, that would be okay. All right, you got me. You got me. We're trying to do cool stuff here, okay? But I don't know what necessarily all my cards do, and perhaps this strategy is better suited for somebody who is just looking to. Maybe it's just a better incidental thing instead of a build around. But it's still early, and I wanted to try to make it work. Look, we have disguised creatures. We're good. We have also 3 different green cards that allow us to find black mana. Or we can just naturally draw it. Oh, wait. I thought that was a swamp. um... Sure. Okay, or we can draw every black card and the 1 blue-green card in our deck. That will not be good for our chances to win here. Okay, so I can flip this up. I can kill the Snuffler. Yeah, it's a 4/4. It seems like a pretty good. It seems a little too juicy not to kill right now. If they play something smaller, next turn I can flip this up or play the Mortipede and then cast hard-hitting questions. This tells me they have some kind of a trick, so I'm just going to wait. Wow, okay. So there's no reason for me to flip this up. And now we got to figure out what we want to do here. I think it's probably play the Mortipede because it's the biggest creature. And then we'll just kill it. Because I want to... This thing is actually very annoying. I have 2 3-power creatures in play. This one is a 3/4 flying creature, so I'll be able to deploy that next turn. And what are they? Some kind of blue, multicolored blue control thing? Candlestick? If you play that, are you cycling it? It's like, if that's your first play of the turn. Wow. What is in your hand? All lands? Just a bizarre sequence there. Chalk outline. They could have the destroy target tap thing. Well, they didn't use it though. Okay. Let's play the Aftermath Analyst. Okay, we have plenty of investigate cards in the graveyard now. No! Oh, it exiles. Oh my gosh. I thought if it, so I was expecting another Reasonable Doubt potentially, and I was like, you know what? If my 1/3 flyer goes in the yard, I'm okay with this. I am okay with this. Anyways. What do I do here? So this is a 3/3. If they block here, I can kill it. So I get 1 less damage in this way, but I get in 1 more damage in here because they're not going to block this. So yeah, let's attack with these two. That is an interesting block. But I'm happy that that happened, so this is okay. We have a Basilica Stalker, Rotfarm Mortipede. We actually don't have to play Chalk Outline. I guess we could have actually gotten a Ferox there. Okay, well, we can get the Ferox now. The Chalk Outline does give us value, but the Ferox just allows us to get in for a bunch of damage immediately. Right? 3/4. Play the Ferox. Or do I want to get a 2/2 and investigate? That's also really tempting. The Ferox gets them down to 1, though, with 3 creatures in play. Okay, no, I gotta... I just need to make sure I exile a creature, 6, and then exile this. Is it whenever 1 or more? Okay. 4, 5... Oh, no, it's lethal! This also gets bigger. Of course. Of course! All right. Let's get in there. They do have access to 2 mana. Okay. Wait. So they're at 2. So they need to find ways to deal with all of this. And we have an active Soul Enervation. Oh, why? Why? Oh! What do you do? So this is lifelink. So I think we use this. We kill Tolsimir. And then we attack. Whew! Wow. They almost came back there. Tolsimir is a heck of a card. Really good draw here. Really good draw in that removal spell for us. I feel like all the cards that's winning for us is not the payoff cards, but just the generically decent black-green shell. It's okay. We'll have a game where we get to pop off with these enchantments. That's what I'm going to tell myself, at least. Under no circumstances are we boarding them out, though. That's all I'm going to say about that. So we got turn 1 Fester Leech. Turn 2, we're just going to pump it up. Nothing to do. And then we can play a Disguised Creature next turn. Get them for 3. Ooh, we milled a Leering Onlooker. Excellent, excellent hit with the Fester Leech there. Our opponent went turn 1 Escape Tunnel, turn 2 Escape Tunnel. So they're looking to be on the controlling side of the spectrum. So hopefully we can punish them with some fast draws. The Leech is very nice. We got the Morph here, and then we have double hard-hitting question plus Soul Innervation. And we have a Morph, but we also have the Fester Leech, which we can pump to a 3/3, and then use hard-hitting questions if we want. But if they just play a face-down creature here, I'm not sure what I want to do. Right? Because I kind of want to make 2 1/1s with the Leering Onlooker. I could use hard-hitting questions. Now, ideally, they just play a 2/2 that's not a Morph, so I don't have to pay the ward. Oh, no, but even then, I wouldn't be able to cast make the 2 bats. So if they play a face-down card, then most likely... Oh, what the... Gravestone Strider. Huh. Okay, do I have enough stuff to play the Inspector? I do. I do. Do I want to kill this Gravestone Strider, though? Because it does remove my Leering Onlooker. Yeah, I'm just gonna not do anything. Let's attack with this Morph. Let's see if they block. Okay. I just want to make some flyers here. I think that's going to do a good job of pressuring them. And then we'll take it from there. Let's make the flyers, not worry about the Strider. The Strider is just a 1/3 mana dork. It doesn't even generate mana, it just filters mana. And then after we make the 1/1s, then next turn, our hand is kind of unlocked, right? We have a couple of hard-hitting questions. We can even double hard-hitting questions with the Fester Leech that we have. We can go use both swamps to pump it to a 3/3 and kill things if we need to. If we draw land number 5, we can unmorph the Undercover Crocodile to get in there as well. Our opponent, with their slow start, likely going to be punished here. Oh, they need a second green. Okay, Tunnel Tipster. At the beginning of combat on your... Okay, so they don't have anything to examine. Or they can't collect evidence right now. All right, whatever. I'm just going to make some tokens. And this was the perfect scenario here because we can do exactly the thing that I talked about before, which is pump Fester Leech and kill the Examiner and the Tipster if we want. We didn't draw land number 5, so we can't face up the Crocodile. Yeah. I mean, I could kill the Gravestone Strider, but I don't think that I want to. I definitely want to kill Evidence Examiner. And then I could also play the Vitu-Ghazi Inspector this turn, just to get in for more damage. So that's that. I guess it doesn't get in for more damage, huh? All right. Still not a bad turn. Our opponent's down to 11, lost 2 of their creatures, and just has a Gravestone Strider in play. We have a Soul Innervation to kill something big if they choose to play that, along with an Undercity Eliminator. If we don't draw land, we also have the option of casting the Vitu-Ghazi Inspector to put a +1/+1 counter on something. Ooh, what is this? Target creature blocks this turn if able. Okay, so it's just a 4/5, which actually is pretty good here. It's actually pretty good here, but I do have Soul Innervation, which is going to be great. The question is, do I attack with Fester Leech? Will they block? If they do, will they double block? Double block would be kind of a disaster on the Fester Leech. I feel like they're more... I mean, I'm certainly attacking with the flyers. All right, let's just attack. Let's see what they do. Okay, no, this was perfect. All right, so now we play this on the Ambusher. All right. Kill the 4/5, Soul Enervation in play. Next turn, we get to drain them for 1. Because we have a creature in the yard that we need to make sure we exile. Or we don't have to drain them for 1. We do have an Axebane Ferox. And we have Undercity Eliminator in play to sack one of our bats potentially and kill another big thing that enters the battlefield. So doing a pretty good job of managing the battlefield while also getting in for damage where we can. Here's a Loxodon Eavesdropper. So that's a 3/3 on the battlefield. So my creatures are not ideal anymore. I can play the Ferox, and that'll trade with the Eavesdropper plus Gravestone Strider. That seems worth it to me. Because the Eavesdropper doesn't get +1/+1 from the clue sack here. Because it triggers off the second card that you draw. So if you pass with a clue up, it doesn't get bigger. So that's a big thing to note about the Eavesdropper. But they probably don't want to take 6. Yep. So they're going to double block here, and Axebane Ferox does have Death Touch, so we'll just get to kill both. And now they're down to 7 with an empty board, and we have 2 bats, a Fester Leech, and a Morph, which is an undercover Crocodile. And if we can just draw land number 5, we can flip that up as well. So they have a Gravestone Strider in the yard. They can use it to exile a card in my graveyard, but I don't think they can really afford to spend their mana in that fashion right now with all this pressure that I have. So they're going to need to play something big. If they play something big, we can find a land, play the Undercity Eliminator. And even if they do, we also have the ability to unmorph the Crocodile. So things are looking very good for us. 4 mana for... Oh, this card is really good. Hide in Plain Sight. 4 mana, look at the top 5 cards of your library, cloak 2 of them, put the rest on the bottom. So, very floor, it's 3 green, make 2 2/2s, which is a perfectly fine card that you would play in your deck. But of course, if you can find large creatures, those creatures can become bigger things. So if you think about it, a cloaked creature costs 3 mana, right? It's 3 mana to put a 2/2 into play. So this is giving you 6 mana value worth of cards in 4. So that's one way to explain why this card is so amazing. Now, you won't always hit 2 cards that flip up into something big, but yeah, that is one good way to come back right now where things are not looking the best for you. Definitely. So I am going to just attack with my 2 flyers and the Crocodile, because with 3 mana up, there's no great block that they have on my face down card, unless they have a removal spell. Even if they double block, I'm still going to eat both of them. So pretty happy with this. Now, of course, if they have the instant that kills a tapped creature, that's not great for us. All right, that's good. We just got to eat a creature. What was it? Oh, it was just a land. Okay. Now they're going to use the Gravestone Strider, probably exiling my Axebane Ferox. Yep. Generally, if you have exile effects... Oh, it still triggers the Soul Innervation. Ah! See? I thought this was only for yourself. It triggers off any player. Okay, so that's good to know. Oh no, the dreaded Satchel. The dreaded Satchel. It's okay. We have too much in play right now. So, got another win. Is that a 3rd win? These wins are getting kind of tough. Once we're hitting the Platinum Division, players seem to be getting better. Oh, 4th win. All right. 4 is a good number. 4 is a good number for when you're trying things. I think when you hit 4 wins, you're only down like 100 gems or something. 5 is where you profit on gems. So this is the big one. This is the will I profit from this draft? We'll see how it goes. All right, so this is a fairly easy keep here. We have the escape tunnel here to go ahead and fetch a forest. And then we have Topiary Panther and a Nervous Gardener too. So we have plenty of mana in our hand. And because we didn't draw land number 3, we're definitely just cycling the Topiary Panther to go get a swamp. I feel like I'm going to get countered here. If they don't have a 2-mana play, it just feels like you're going to get countered, but what am I to do? All right, great. They didn't have it. That's good. Because that was really important, because now we get to unmorph, get another land, probably a swamp, because we have a double black card, and then play that. Although now this makes things a little bit interesting, because I did draw the Public Thoroughfare. So there's a couple of options here. I can play... I feel like just playing multiple morphs is kind of what I want to do. Yeah, okay. Let's go get the swamp. And then face down one of these. Now remember, this also unmorphs for blue. We have the 1 blue, so if we draw an untapped land, we can still face up the Undercover Crocodile. All right, so they're off to a really slow start. We need to punish them if possible. Can't really punish them too hard here, though. We're going to attack for 4. Play another morph. And then play the Public Thoroughfare. And, I mean, now we have 3 creatures in play. And these both turn into 5/5s. No! No! That's not what we wanted to see. I mean, with the Satchel in play, we have to play a second creature. It could have been a Leering Onlooker, I guess. Oh, this is going to be super tough. Ill-timed explosion. All right. Yep. Super, super rough. Okay. Well, time to rebuild here. Leering Onlooker into Aftermath Analyst, I guess. What do we mill? Chalk Outline. That would have been really good in this matchup. Yeah. By the way, this is a tough limited environment. There are 3 sweepers in the format. There's a white Wrath, a black Wrath, and a blue-red sweeper. So, lots of sweepers to keep in mind. And so you have to be a little bit more careful with how you sequence things. The thing is, if my opponent played absolutely nothing and didn't play the Satchel, maybe I would have played it a little more conservatively, but I felt like I needed to put a lot of pressure on them, and if they have the Wrath, they have the Wrath. And the Satchel? Oh, the Satchel with the Harry Dronesmith? Oh, that's disgusting. Well, I can play the Undercity Eliminator. It just puts a bigger creature in play, which I think I want. Let's sack the 1/3, kill the Dronesmith, and get in for 1 in the air. This Soul Innervation is likely going to be able to kill anything anyways. And then we can also play the Vitu-Ghazi Inspector to make a 2/4 Leering Onlooker. But we're going to have to fight through... geez. Cornered Crook, sack a Clue, kill my Eliminator, make a Thopter with the Detective Satchel. This is a lot that we need to fight through. Candlestick on the flyer, attack. Yeah, oh, this is brutal. I mean, our opponent just has a good blue-red deck. I think blue-red is quite good. And now we don't have the green mana to play the Ferox. We don't have the green mana to play the Ferox and hard-hitting questions on the Cornered Crook. I have Soul Innervation here. I guess we play that. And then let's... We're trading 3 for 1. Yeah, I think it's one of those situations where since we have a slight life lead and we have the Ferox, we don't want this game to go super long. But the thing is, this Candlestick is generating a lot of value. We just have to get lucky in that sense, where we just have to naturally draw a lot of good threats in a row, where they're able to manipulate the top of their deck and find exactly what it is that they need. So they even surveilled the card that they wanted. They drew that card. They get to make a Thopter this turn. Yeah, I feel like the Satchel is probably just busted. It's slow, but I mean, it's just, how do you beat it? Right? Oh my gosh. Okay. They're at 8 life here. They had the Fey Flight for the Gadget Technician too. This is a really nice combat trick. Really, really nice. Gives a creature flying and is a nice combat trick. That's what you want. So we're going to block one of the 1/1s here, and we're going to take 8 damage, go to 7. It's a 4/2 flyer? Jeez, okay. Oh, can they kill the Onlooker? Oh, wow, okay. And they don't have to collect evidence because it can't be... Oh, they did anyways? But they don't have to because it's uncounterable. So that's a piece of text that not everybody might be familiar with. And that gives us a ground token, but I don't think that matters. We can block this. We can block this, and then I guess we're not dead. No, they make a thing. Oh no, we drained them for 1. Okay. Let's collect evidence. Plenty of things to collect evidence from, but let's just remove a creature here. All right, we drain them, and we get a 1/2 plant. And then we want to make this into a 2/4. We can block the Technician. We'll take 6 in the air, and we'll survive. But they have a nice deck. I'm not sure how much of a fan I am of Out Cold in a blue-red control deck. They seem to be more of a blue-red control deck. Maybe it's just the regular deck and it's fine. I mean, it's never terrible. And they got us with the unauthorized exit, sadly. Yep. Yeah, so excellent kind of blue-red control artifact deck. Wait, is this still my turn? What the... That's, they're just... They're trying to give us a chance here? No way. They bounced my creature in my main phase. I mean, we still have this ginormous army. We're still probably dead. We're at 12. The thing is, I don't know. Like, you have to... At what point are you really happy with this? I guess like when you make the third creature, right? Because you have to go, even making 2 doesn't feel worth it because you have to spend a turn to do this. So it's like you need the third activation, which is a lot. Okay, well, hey, we're still alive. Can we kill them? 4, 5, 6, 7, 8? No, we can't. All right. Now we're dead. Excellent deck, though. I've had a lot of success with blue-red. I think blue-red might be just one of the best color combinations. It's less obvious. I think people look at red-white and blue-white as kind of the de facto best decks. They're very proactive. They're very strong strategies. But I do think blue. I've had the most number of 7 wins with blue-red, for sure. So let's take a look at this deck. Let's take a look at this deck real quick and just kind of come to some conclusions here. So I do like having some of these expensive morphs or disguise creatures. They work really well with the high escape costs on some of our cards. So cards like Analyze the Pollen, and then I'm just taking a look at all of our, not escape, evidence cards. A couple of Vitu-Ghazi Inspectors. So that's kind of what we had. Could have used a little bit more. Leering Onlooker, notably, is a way to exile a creature card from your graveyard. If you can get it in. So that's another little extra bonus. It's already good on rate, but it gives you that little bit of extra value. And then let's look at cards that give you benefits from exiling cards from the graveyard. So notably Chalk Outline, Soul Innervation, Rot Farm Mortipede, and the Insidious Roots. So, and then I guess the Aftermath Analyst helps, and the Fester Leech, they're kind of, you can look at them as enablers. So the thing is, here, we'll even put this Chrysalis in here too. So the thing is, the problem with these two, okay, specifically Insidious Roots and Chalk Outline, is they don't do anything the turn you play them, right? Especially Chalk Outline, it's a pretty big cost to put this in your deck, but the payoff is gigantic, right? If you can trigger this twice, you're getting 2 2/2s and 2 clues. That's really, really great, right? If you trigger it once, it's mediocre, right? With the Insidious Roots, it's cheaper. If you trigger it once, if you can trigger it really early, it's fine. But the thing is, the mana generation from this is something you really want to take advantage of early. But if you're playing Insidious Roots turn 2, there's just no way you're going to be able to generate a bunch of mana off of the creature that you make. And in our games, that's what happened. We played the Insidious Roots, and then turn 5, we made a token. It was a 1/2. So turn 5, you make a 1/2 that like taps for mana. That just doesn't seem worth it to me. So I think ultimately this just ended up not playing out the way that you wanted to. And I don't know if there's enough natural ways to get this going where you get to go off. Because the thing is, you need to have a good number of ways to mill your deck that doesn't feel bad. The thing is, when I play Aftermath Analyst, I feel bad. Because I'm playing a 2-mana 1/3 in my deck, right? You feel bad about this. Fester Leech is fine. I'll play a couple of Fester Leeches in my deck. I'm happy enough with that. But Aftermath Analyst is bad, and there's just not a ton of ways I can think of. There's the 1-mana 1/1 that Surveils 2. That's also, I guess, a card that you can use to fill up your graveyard. But you need to have this delicate balance of payoffs plus ways to collect evidence. So I think, at least for now, I feel like this might be not something that you want to be doing. Maybe I need to draft this format a little bit more, and instead just focus on good old-fashioned ABC magic. Don't necessarily go for all these cards, right? Maybe the Chrysalis in a blue-green deck that generates a lot of clues. Play Soul Innervation. You know why? It's a great card. It's just a good card. Just put it in your deck. 4 mana, it's a removal spell, and then you get, every now and then you get to drain them for 1. Mortipede. Don't take this highly, but every now and then you can fit it in your deck if you have enough evidence cards. Cards like the Insidious Roots, maybe you should stay away. Chalk Outline even, right? It's a cool card, but maybe it's not something that you should be looking to take highly. You see this card, you see it table, and then you kind of see how your deck looks and go, okay, well, maybe it's worth it putting in my deck. But I don't know if this is like a card. You know, there are cards, there are build-arounds in other sets. I'm going to go way back in time. Cards like Lightning Rift, right? It was a 1-red enchantment. When you cycle, you get to pay 1 and deal 2 damage to something. That's incredible, right? That's game-breaking. And there's lots of cycling cards you can play because cycling is a fantastic mechanic. But with cards like Insidious Roots and Chalk Outline, you have to go through a lot of hoops to kind of make it work. So I feel like just draft a regular deck, right? The games where we just drew hard-hitting questions with a decent curve were the ones that I think that we won. And the games where we try to do things with Insidious Roots did not go quite as well. So I think that's going to be my approach moving forward. I think cards like Sample Collector are just good on rate. It's a 2-mana, 3-mana, 2/3. You're going to have some things in your yard. If it ever attacks and gets you one counter, it's a 3-mana, 3/4. That's a card you're always going to put in your deck. So I think that's going to be kind of my approach moving forward. But I have no regrets about how I drafted this. I think Analyze the Pollen is always going to be a good card to play because it gets you a land or a creature in the late game. Sample Collector is always going to be a good card to play, right? So those are just fine because they're good in the natural flow of the game, and you're not at a tempo loss when you're trying to play these cards. But I think I would just try to avoid some of these build-arounds until maybe you get a little bored of the format, and maybe you try to mess around with this a little bit later. But look, I don't regret it. It's early on in the format. What if this ended up just being absolutely broken? What if I was just able to make a plant every single turn? And it was incredible. And I wanted to push that and see what happened. Sadly, we didn't quite get there. We got 4 and 3. That's okay. But I was not that impressed with Insidious Roots and everything else going here on the right side of the screen. But the climb continues. Won more than we lost. That's okay. And we'll have plenty more drafts to explore this format while it's still young. Anyways, thank you so much for watching. I really do appreciate it. Feel free to hit the like or subscribe button for more daily videos just like this. I'll catch you next time.